Hi folks, Florida Man here. Today, I'm bringing you a diplomacy commentary on a game I played on PlayDiplomacy on the classic map, called No Country for Old Men. I didn't start in this game, I replaced a surrendered power, and I think this game was pretty interesting for what it was, so I hope you will agree by the end. I'll briefly go over what happened before I joined, and then we'll go into how I changed things once I became a participant. In spring 1901, most of the players began with fairly typical openings. England opened to Norwegian Sea, Russia opened to Gulf of Bothnia, Galicia, and Ukraine, and bounced in Black Sea, the last of which Turkey bounced. Austria moved to Galicia and bounced with Russia as well. Italy moved toward a convoy, and France moved to mid-Atlantic Ocean and supported himself into Burgundy. The only anomaly is that Germany fails to enter orders, which suggests a possible reason why France made that move into Burgundy. The German player has apparently decided not to play, which probably included not talking to anyone. In fall, the pattern mostly continues, but there are some deviations as a result of player inactivity. England takes Norwegian Sea into Norway and convoys into Denmark, which is a pretty nice benefit from the German inactivity. Russia naturally takes Sweden, as well as getting into Romania and Galicia. Turkey takes the Black Sea, but also bounces Austria out of Serbia. Austria makes a move to try to enter Venice, which tells us a lot about what's going on. Italy has joined Germany in the ranks of people who aren't talking and aren't moving. The failure to move by Italy and Germany is starting to have a pretty big impact on this game. I think you'd probably agree. At this point, France actually proposes a draw between all the other players, and it's accepted by Austria, England, and Turkey. Russia argues that they should wait, because Italy may continue to play, and Germany will be auto-surrendered soon enough. In the build phase, England got an army and a fleet, France got 2 fleets and an army, Austria got an army, and Russia built 2 armies. In spring 1902, both Italy and Germany auto-surrendered. Another season passed without those 2 powers, and you can see the game is arguably moving to a point of no return already. The German and Italian powers would have a lot of trouble recovering from this position, as would Austria at this point. France looks like he's about to attack England with no Germany to compete with him, while England is attacking Russia, and Russia is trying to attack the vacant German position. In fall, I took over the Italian position, and someone else joined the German position at roughly the same time. Unfortunately, there was no one really interested in trying to help me salvage this position initially. I tried to be friendly with France, Austria, Turkey, but Austria has to defend himself, can't really do much to help me. France is just outright attacking me. He and England continue working together here, counter to my expectations when I joined the game. So things are looking very bad in all directions, all of a sudden. Turkey is also moving his fleets in my direction, although he at least claims he's going to help me defend. I'm usually pretty self-reliant when it comes to running a defense as Italy, because I know how easily a defense that's assisted by someone else can turn into an occupation by that other power. In this case, there may be no good alternatives. In the build phase, I at least get a new fleet because I acquired Tunis, which my predecessor didn't bother to do. France builds a fleet in Brest, seemingly going back to possibly attacking England, while Turkey builds another fleet and Russia destroys his southern fleet. In spring 1903, France dislodges me from Tunis successfully, while Turkey moves in to potentially be able to support me retaining or retaking that center. At least hopefully that's what he's up to. That's what he says. To the north, we can see that England continues to progress against Russia, while France seemingly moves again towards stabbing England. Hard to read his intentions from the map, but I don't know if I like this position as England. France is also breaking into German territory unless he suddenly decides to leave, and Turkey also supports me into Trieste, since I need to get a build somewhere. And he's playing nice with me, at least for now. Things are looking somewhat better. I have one, at least temporary ally. In the retreats, though, things get a little ugly. France retreats to Norwegian Sea, which puts him in a strong position to begin surrounding the English island. I retreat to North Africa, my only option with my Tunis fleet, and Austria retreats to Tyrolia, which was worrying. It gives him a few different ways to attack me this coming season, should he choose to do so. In fall, however, things continue to proceed in a fairly positive way for me. I keep everything. I keep Trieste, I keep Tunis, and Turkey and Russia hit Austria as well, and destroy his capacity to ever fight back after this year. things might be sustainable for me if I can keep up this delicate balance of the relations among myself, Russia, and Turkey, while also making sure that Turkey continues to see France as a big threat. Unfortunately, the Russian player is a bit of a clumsy diplomatic communicator, and he has a bad habit of CCing Turkey on messages between himself and me, including messages that are meant to be private. And around this time, communication between me and Russia dies down as a result of the fact that it's just very frustrating and annoying trying to talk to him. I can't tell if he's screwing things up on purpose or not. In the build, England and France each get more fleets. Turkey and I both get armies, while Germany and Austria have to destroy. In spring 1904, I unfortunately missed the moves, and more importantly, Turkey realigns all of his units away from attacking the Russian potentially, and toward attacking me. At the same time, Russia kills off Austria and invades Germany for some pretty good growth, which would make it hard for Turkey to justify to himself switching back to possibly attacking Russia. France also pushes forward, putting all his available fleets on the front line with me, as if I didn't have enough problems. It's starting to look like I am sunk. The only real bright side is that England and France are still embroiled in a probably unnecessary conflict, but that's not a huge bright side for me, since it means that Turkey has more of a free hand. In fall, I tried buttering up the Turkey, because he's a much better communicator than Russia, and as far as I know, he has not been leaking my messages to Russia, as Russia has at least once or twice done, even while saying oopsie. Turkey very frankly explains to me that he's taking Trieste, and he argues there wouldn't be much he could do to help me without going through the Balkans anyway. I basically offer to janissary here, just trying to survive, but, Turkey accepts. So when orders process, I lose Trieste, but I continue to have a theoretical ally at least. At the same time, France is going from strength to strength in his wars with England and Germany, albeit that France really ought to understand that that's not the most important fight he's in. So I really need all the help I can get to quash this Frenchman before he decides to focus more energy on the south. In the builds, France gets yet another fleet and an army, I lose the army in Venice, and Russia and Turkey both get new armies, while England destroys his fleet in Clyde, seemingly giving up on retaking Liverpool from France anytime soon. In spring 1905, France continued attacking England, while the Juggernaut roared into the zone of conflict with the chaotic West, clearly very united and ready to wreak havoc. With fall, they took their first bit of French soil by occupying Munich, while I was unpleasantly unsurprised to see Turkey in Venice. He simply announced he was going to take it, and I had to take that in stride because I wasn't going to survive the game at all without sticking with Turkey as an ally, for now. Although at this point it was beginning to seem as if I wouldn't survive by sticking with him either. In the build phase, I destroyed the Tunis fleet, figuring it was behind the lines enough, and I frankly wanted to keep something in the Italian boot to dissuade Turkey from further occupying me. In spring 1906, I was basically still following Turkey's direction, and with England and France still not at peace, they continued to lose ground to the Juggernaut. In fall 1906, they took even more ground from France, who was much too focused on England for his own good. In the builds, France seemed to recognize this by destroying the units on the English front, but it seemed likely to be too little, too late. And in spring 1907, England attacked France further, even as Russia was attacking both of them, while Turkey and I positioned to crack France's Iberian defenses. In fall 1907, I was working on creating division between Russia and Turkey. Turkey was the client from my perspective as a janissary, so I was encouraging him to be suspicious of Russia, the task made easier by the fact that from the French moves, it was starting to look to Turkey as if France was trying to throw Russia a solo, or at the very least trying to focus on defending against me and Turkey, rather than equally against Russia. Unfortunately, Turkey proposed a two-power draw between himself and Russia at this point. The situation felt so one-sided, due to the clear momentum, that the other players accepted pretty quickly except me and Russia. I was hoping someone else besides me would decline, so I might have some opportunity to stab Turkey and regain some of my lost territory, especially because Turkey was saying that if the draw didn't go through, he was going to immediately stab Russia. However, if I rejected the draw, I was definitely going to be the next target of the war machine. So I accept, and then Russia accepts, and the game ended in this position. I should point out that Turkey's use of me in this game is pretty much the ideal textbook use of a janissary, and people watching this video should study and emulate it. He accepted my offer clearly, and with enthusiasm. He gave me clear and unambiguous instructions and also took centers when he needed to, or wanted to, without any real apology. He just let me know. And while he was ready to use me in whatever fights he got into, he didn't let me sway his foreign policy into an unwise attack on his principal ally. On the whole, an excellent example of the proper care and feeding of janissaries, which is the main reason why I thought this game was worthy of your attention. Might be worth a separate video of its own, but let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this diplomacy commentary and found it interesting or perhaps helpful. If you did, please like, subscribe if you haven't already, comment below on your janissary experiences, either as the janissary or janissary controller, and consider joining the people whose names now appear on screen, this channel's subtitle writers and patrons, who help to make the Florida Man Diplomacy channel possible. These wise and generous people also enjoy oodles of exclusive diplomacy content, mainly in the form of the Florida Man Unscripted series, in which I create diplomacy content on ongoing games while I'm playing them, and release it directly to Patreon and nowhere else. They also get early access to all YouTube content. I'd say that's worth $1 a month. Till next time, Florida Man, out.